and gentlemen, in today's video, I'm bringing you wide receiver rankings. I'm going 35 deep in this video so we can get a closer look at some of those options that you are really going to have to be deciding between. Switching it up a little bit, I'm going to try to skim over about the top 12 options because we know that we're starting them, and so I do not want to waste your time. Keep an eye out, guys, for all the content that I have coming out Wednesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, some Saturdays. I have all the rankings you need. I have buy, sell for those looking to do trades. So like and subscribe to the channel so you do not miss a thing. With that out of the way, let's get into wide receiver rankings. Starting off, tier number 1, and boy does it feel good to put him here. It is Justin Jet Jefferson traveling to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles in a big Monday night clash. And I mean, he did say he was going to be the best in the league at the end of the year, but apparently he did not want to wait that long. To 2, I have Cooper Kupp against Atlanta. And Kupp is not going to make it easy on Jet. He had 13 catches, 128 yards, and a tutty. It basically sounds like 2021. Up next, at number 3, I have Davante Adams at home against Arizona. Derek Carr wasted no time getting the ball to the only true wide receiver one he's probably ever had. Now, 17 targets may seem a little bit excessive, but I will be surprised if Davante doesn't get double-digit targets in 17 games this season. My 4th ranked player is Ja'Marr Chase traveling to Dallas. And with T. Higgins out early last week, Burrow fed Chase all the targets he could. And even if Higgins is a go in week 2, Chase is still going to carve up the boys. At 5, I have Stefon Diggs. He gets Tennessee at home. And if Jalen Ramsey cannot stop that Allen and Diggs connection, then who has a shot at doing it? Diggs took his day over the top by torching the Rams' top cornerback for a 53-yard bomb, and there are going to be plenty more of those to come. My 6th ranked player is A.J. Brown against my Vikings. He saw 13 targets in week 1, and no other Eagles wideout saw more than 4. So it is very clear how this passing offense in Philadelphia is going to work moving forward. Up next, and to start tier number 2, I have Michael Pittman Jr. He gets the Jags on the road. And it is always a good look to prove the preseason hypers right. Pittman did it with authority, and he now gets the Jags, so an encore is inbound. As we move on to number 8, I have Tyreek Hill against Baltimore. It's pretty simple, right? You give him the ball in space, and you let him create. He saw a 39% target share in week 1. I do not think that he sees that high moving forward, but it was a great sign that he did here. At 9, I have Mike Williams in that Thursday night matchup. I think that Keenan Allen is going to be out of this game, and we're not going to worry about Williams' week 1 dud. The Chargers are going to be in a shootout here, and they will need Williams' firepower. To round out my top 10, I have Deebo Samuel at home against Seattle. He's going to run the ball. He's going to score the ball. And hopefully this week he catches a few more passes, and it's going to help that he's doing it away from the monsoon. The 49ers are going to show that it was the conditions that kept them on a leash in week 1. To start my 3rd tier at number 11, I have Mike Evans against New Orleans. I do not love the news of this new calf injury, but so far they're just saying it is a minor thing. He could fall in my rankings, certainly, depending on the news as the week progresses. But for now, Lattimore, Schmattimore, I am throwing him in. My last wide receiver 1 is DJ Moore, who travels to New York to take on the Giants. I am still in on DJ. I know that last week was certainly not pretty, but the Giants are not going to provide the same issues that Cleveland brought to the table. The Panthers are going to look like a real offense here, and Moore helps to calm the chaos. To 13, it is Terry McLaurin against Detroit. They're on the road, and I know that he did not have as much fun as Jahan Dotson or Curtis Samuel last week, but he is still the alpha, and he is still facing the Lions. Gabriel Davis is up next. He's in at 14 at home against Tennessee. The matchup here is great, as the week 1 production was. Davis showed why I have been on him since all the way back in July. And while he may not score every single week, I do not think that it's crazy that he gets double-digit scores in 2022. 15 sees Diontae Johnson in a matchup at home with New England. And while some of the targets were not pretty, I am still buying the dozen that he got. Najee Harris being banged up even a little bit just means more short yardage looks are going to come Johnson's way, and he can turn any one of those into 6 real quick. To my 4th tier, starting it off at 16, is Brandin Cooks at home against Denver. If Cooks can retain the targets that he saw in week 1, he is going to be a set it and forget it wide receiver 2 from here on out. Houston also showed a little bit of life in week 1, so the upside that he shows could be better than expected. I do have T. Higgins here next at 17. I am ranking him for now. I am not sure he plays, so keep an eye on it. Be vigilant in seeing, because if he's out, you do not want him in your lineup. Moving on to 18, it is Amon-Ra St. Brown at home against Washington. The sophomore slump never came for St. Brown here. He saw 12 targets, and that chemistry that he began to build last year with Jared Goff was clearly evident. He's going to continue to be fed the ball, and he needs to be locked into your lineup. My 19th ranked player is Jaylen Waddle at Baltimore. Miami controlled the game from beginning to end basically in week 1 against New England, so there was not much needed from the passing game, and I think that hurt Waddle a little bit. Do not worry about the lack of targets here. They are going to come. And Waddle's 42-yard touchdown showed how dangerous he can be against a defense with just 1 touch. In at 20, and rounding that out, I have Juedy. He gets Houston at home. He had that awesome 67-yard touchdown against Seattle. And Juedy was right there with Courtland Sutton in targets as well. Both of them had 7. Houston is not going to know what hit him this week with the angry Broncos coming to town. Courtland Sutton is my next guy. I'm doing back-to-back. And honestly, these two definitely cannibalize each other a little bit, but either of them can go off any given week. You can play the one that you have, or if you got both, you can do that too. At 22, I have Marquise Brown. He gets the Las Vegas Raiders on the road. Hopkins is out. Rondale Moore is ailing, so it is Hollywood to the rescue. I expect a ton of targets here, and the Cardinals are going to rebound as well. So I am in on Brown against the silver and black. My 23rd ranked player is Michael Thomas against Tampa Bay. And welcome back, Mr. Thomas. It was quite a coming out party with a pair of scores in his first game back in what seems like forever. And his reward, unfortunately, is a brutal matchup with the Bucs. To start off, my 5th tier, I have Ceedee Lamb. He gets Cincinnati. And I cannot lie, I am certainly worried about him. I think that you'd be crazy not to be. But I also believe that the talent that Lamb possesses is enough to keep him relevant as a mid-tier to lower-end wide receiver 2 option. So the pressure is on you, Cooper. Rounding out my top 25, DK Metcalf is in against San Francisco on the road. And at least he's going to continue to see looks, even if they are low quality. Seattle did surprise us a little bit, maybe a lot in week 1 with that win, so maybe not all is lost in this passing attack. My 26th ranked player is Rashod Bateman. He gets Miami at home, and it was Devin Duvernay that was burst onto the scene a lot more than Bateman did. But the real story here is Lamar Jackson's ability to air it out and forget about his feet basically completely for a week. If that continues, Bateman's ceiling just got a whole lot higher. Juju Smith-Schuster is up next. He is at 27 against Los Angeles. I will take 8 targets in a Patty Mahomes-led offense any day. Now, I know he didn't score on any of the 5 touchdown passes that Patrick threw, but he is going to eventually, and it could start on Thursday. Into tier 6 we are now, and it's 28 Christian Kirk against Indianapolis. The Jags, they basically decided that they were going to do everything they could to get their money's worth after overpaying on Kirk. And he saw 12 targets against Washington, so if you are an owner, you have to love it. He had a 30% target share nearly. That is great to see. At 29, I have Brandon Aiyuk, and he gets Seattle. Now, the breakout game that all of the Aiyuk truthers were hoping for never came, so they're going to have to wait another week for that. Seattle, however, is a solid opportunity to bounce back, and especially because George Kittle is likely to miss another week. When have you last heard that? To 30, I have Jarvis Landry. He gets Tampa Bay. It was a monster surprise for me to see what Landry was able to do. He showed he still has plenty left in the tank, and he is a must-add if he is available on your wire. Starting the 7th tier and at 31, I have Amari Cooper at home against the Jets. This really looks like a tough situation for Cooper, but he has the skills to have some big weeks. Most of his career, he has basically been a boom or bust option anyway, but now he is doing it in an offense that has no intention of throwing the ball at all. At 32, it is Drake London. He goes to Los Angeles to take on the Rams, and it was a really solid start to the career for London. He tied the team lead in targets with 7. He has the body to compete against LA, and nothing is going to come easy, but I think he has what it takes to put up at least a decent performance. At 33, tumbling down from where we had him last week, it is Allen Robinson II against Atlanta. It was a forgettable week 1, and I do not say that lightly. 2 targets, 1 catch. But I think Robinson is still going to produce solid numbers in this offense, and he's showing this week that he is not washed against the Falcons. In my 8th and final tier, I have Curtis Samuel at 34 against Detroit. He's another guy that if he's available, you have to pick him up on waivers. He showed his talent when he is healthy, and he parlayed 11 targets into 55 yards and a score. And they're at the Lions this week, so he could do that again. The last player that I want to discuss at 35 is Tyler Boyd, and I am adding him here in case T. Higgins cannot go. If that happens, Tyler is going to jump at least 1, maybe 2 tiers if he's the wide receiver 2 against the boys. That'll do it for the video today. I really hope I got you guys some information that you needed. As always, drop your questions down below. If you don't know who to start, use the rankings, use the resources. I will gladly answer anything that I get posted. A like and subscribe to the channel means so very much to me. It helps me out a ton. I am trying to get to my first 500 subscribers, and you can help me out by clicking that button down below. This is Relentless Press. I am your host, Abraham Opatz, and we'll see you next time.